Welcome to the Doctoral Training Centre Den 2010. More of a mouthful than Dragon's Den, but every bit as exciting.
Imperial's Chemical Biology Centre organised a Dragon's Den style competition for PhD students. They had to pitch their business ideas to win £20,000 of development money from Imperial Innovations.
We thought it was an interesting way of actually getting to a new audience and actually finding students with new ideas, encouraging them to be inventive and entrepreneurial. I think the students will benefit from this project because they'll learn about the process of commercialisation, and regardless of whether this idea is the idea that gets to the marketplace, then hopefully their next idea will, and the whole process is a learning process.
Our idea for the Dragon's Den event is a plug-and-play detection device that improves the efficiency of optical three-dimensional microscopes by 300%.
We've invented a cheap handheld device that can analyse all sorts of complicated mixtures.
Our idea is a new design of a microplate. It's very similar to a 96-well plate, but the wells are connected and separated by a semi-permeable membrane barrier.
We've decided to design a platform that can be used for in vivo optimization of chemotherapy treatments to reduce patient suffering.
I wanted to integrate experiments on a well plate format, but nothing is available in the market, so I'd actually developed it throughout my PhD.
I've been working in analytical chemistry for a while. I mean, I use an HPLC the whole time. These two gentlemen are in microfluidics, and so what we did was combine the two disciplines. So we simply took the existing technology and made it a whole lot smaller.
The clinical need for the idea was presented to us by a surgeon at the Southern General Hospital in Glasgow. He's a head and neck surgeon, and he's had a lot of experience with people with chemotherapy and has seen the sort of devastating effects that these drugs do have on these people's lives.
When you work with biologists, they always complain that for their experiments they never get enough light to look at what they want to look at. So basically this is how I came up with the idea, and the Dragon's Den was just the ideal opportunity to develop the idea and to get funding for it.
We've had to look at the one or two components of the existing technology and try and make them smaller, try and make them cheaper, and try and make them as simple as we can.
So we've got a prototype which basically looks like this, and you can see that it's basically the design of a 96-well plate.
So developing the idea has been quite challenging. None of us have any business knowledge or any formal business training, but Imperial and the CBC have provided many opportunities for business and entrepreneurship courses, and they've been quite invaluable.
It's been a bit of a hard slog, and it's the first time any of us have done anything like this. But we feel we know a lot more about the process now, and when one of us has a career-changing idea, we'll know what to do with it.
When someone from Imperial called me up and said, would I like to help by giving a little bit of dragon flavour to the almost Dragon's Den kind of event they're holding here, I jumped at it. It's always very nice to be involved, and Imperial is clearly one of our best higher education establishments in the nation. I've only had the briefest descriptions of what they're going to be pitching, so I would hesitate to try and predict a winner. Clearly some of them are going to be more complicated than others to describe. One of the things all of the teams are going to have to do is express what problem they're solving in a relatively short amount of time. I think they'll all do very well. I wouldn't like to predict which one will get the 20,000 quid.
The winner of the £20,000 proof of concept award, which we very much look forward to working on the project with, is Team 4, Anywhere Next Year.
I thought this was a remarkable event and a great evening, and it's a real credit to all the teams that have taken place. They've shown ingenuity and immense application of research to the themes that they took forward, and careful consideration of the business case. I think it's a credit to all of them as to how far they've been able to take their ideas into these early phases, and actually I wish them all success in the future.
Not purely to showcase innovation, but to showcase the fact that the students are actually thinking about application. So we heard about some problems, some old problems actually, with some genuinely innovative new solutions, and more or less immediate application within the industrial setting. So I think the translatability of basic science into genuine, innovative and commercially viable products was truly impressive.
When you face a panel of dragons, whether it's the dragons in Dragon's Den, who you probably have seen and feel scared of because you've seen how brutal they can be, or whether it's a bunch of chief executives of research councils, I think the best strategy is always to be as upfront and as honest as possible. We'd love to see them in the BBC Dragon's Den, because they've obviously got good ideas, they've thought about it, they know what they're talking about, so they would be very welcome, and I would encourage them to do that.